Hi, welcome to AFTV. I got James with me. We've just lost 2-0 to Liverpool at home. Look how you're standing. James is he's done and he seems fed up. I know there's a lot going around online at the moment, but we've just been knocked out by Liverpool in the FA Cup, third round. Where do we start? It's actually my question. I should be asking you a question, really.
I was going to say, ask me some specific questions because you will get a 20-minute monologue from me.
But I feel like a lot of people are opening their fan cams with just, ranting and letting off their feelings and emotions. So I feel like Arsenal fans, like I've said before, we build up so high, especially off of last season. We built up so high for our expectations to be a lot better this season. Challenge again, silverware should be the next progression. But we're just, it seems like Nick just said, we're regressing. 3 losses, James. Like, what is happening at the moment?
This could be a very different situation. And that's not me trying to be all like, Mr. Positive, look at the bright side. I'm actually really angry about a lot of things and I'm going to go into them.
Okay.
But I also just want to get the context out there quickly that not long ago, we'd just drawn at Anfield. We were top of the league at Christmas, as you know. If you've seen the T-shirt, if you know, you know. That West Ham game felt like a re-missed opportunity, Fulham. And then in this game as well, that first 45 minutes, I couldn't believe we weren't 3-0 up. Now that tells you that there's a platform there for Arsenal to turn this around quickly. It wasn't that long ago that things were looking really good from a Premier League perspective, and it wasn't that long ago that we were chilling on the watch and thinking, God, Arsenal look good in the FA Cup today, right? But at the same time, you shouldn't take those positives in that context and ignore the flaws and the problems we do have. Yeah. We are appalling in front of goal. We have been for a long time. Some people are going, the Liverpool's like the West Ham game. Yeah, and Wolves, and Brighton, and Sevilla, and Villa away, and 20 minutes, and mainly the first 20 minutes at Anfield. This has been a trend. Arsenal in front of goal, being sloppy, missing chances has been a trend. And we haven't addressed it. And people are just saying, some people are calling for a striker, and I'm on board with that. I do think we need another striker. But some people are saying that, basically, well, so what? A striker's going to come in and bury those chances. It does more than that. Bringing in a striker allows us to maybe play Jesus on the right, so Saka gets a little bit more rest. Maybe take the weight of expectations off of Jesus, off of Saka, off of Martinelli, who, especially those last two, were producing massively as wingers in the final third for us last season. This season, they're not quite up to. They look tired. They look like they've been a little bit found out. It doesn't look like we've got another something to throw at teams. We've talked about that on this channel loads of times, having different ways to approach a game. And I've segued into the strike thing, but what I'm saying is there are problems at Arsenal that two things can be true. Yes, it's not everything is a complete disaster at Arsenal. We're not some terrible, terrible team. You saw today that we could be a very good team. That first half, we played some good football. We could have scored 3 goals in that first half against Liverpool. How many times, I know they were missing players, but at the same time, how many times do teams say that, right? That even in a rotated Liverpool side, they had the chances they did. But that doesn't mean that there aren't problems there that we should take seriously as well.
Is Mikel Arteta, because he's going to come under a lot of scrutiny, also being found out, James? Or because some would say, listen, he might go and do his press conferences after the game and say we're unlucky because of injuries and we've been unfortunate this season. Or is he being exposed for the sense of a lot of fans said last season was your best chance to do it. You should have done it then. You caught a lot of teams by surprise. We've seen him put Partey at right back at the start of the season. Saw him drop Gabriel Magalhaes. There's loads of things that are question marks. He chose to get Havertz. Is it an Arteta thing that you're being found out, or is it just is it more just on players?
I don't know if I'm answering your question right, but for some reason, I feel like sometimes people are scared to have the Arteta conversation. 100%. I defend him. People, because I try and explain what he's doing, people also think that that's me justifying what he's doing. I'm just trying to understand and try and explain. I think this is the idea here, whatever it might be. Now, with Mikel Arteta, people might say, how can you blame today on him? How can you blame today? Look at the chances. To a degree, I hear what you're saying. That team out there, the players, however much you rate them or not, had enough good chances, had enough opportunities to win that. And I'm really pissed with a lot of those players because it's another game where I'm sat here going, what more do you want? I love Martin Odegaard. I get he's trying to get the crowd going. But normally when you're trying to get the crowd going, maybe because the crowd aren't doing their thing, We were dominating. Like, the environment was there for you guys to win this game. You had the chances. Like, and so I'm sitting there like, I don't know what more you lot need on this pitch. But at the same time, you take a step away and look at it from a bigger picture. Forget just this 90 minutes. The bigger picture. Chances being missed. £65 million being spent on the guy who's leading the line and he's missing chances. Bukayo Saka playing another game and constantly being flogged through injury or not because we don't have a backup right winger. A goalkeeper coming back into the 11 today who put in a single better performance today across that 90 minutes than I've seen from Raya in any other. Now, Raya's not actually been a problem recently, but when Diaz was through on goal, he picks out the big save, Ramsdale. He keeps us in it. And then give your own goal, and then you know what happens. Like, there's a bigger picture. Yes, across 190 minutes, you can't blame Arteta for this one, really, because the players had enough out there to win this game. Gabriel pulling out the header because Saka, whatever it might be, there were opportunities there. But out of another cup competition, early. I'm looking at that Carabao Cup game. We went out early.
Ridiculous.
4th round. Havertz was his player in midfield. Vieira was his player in midfield. Jorginho was his player in midfield.
These are his players.
Trossard was his player. Reece Nelson gave a new deal to. Eddie gave a new. That was the front six against West Ham. We actually did okay in that first half. We ended up 1-0 down, and we don't know like we can score a goal. Yeah. Like, I like Arteta. He's done a lot of really good work, but the reason I'm frustrated is with the players for missing the amount of opportunity they have in another game, and almost with this feeling that, like, just because we miss chances, we can't possibly look at the manager. And I'm not saying Arteta out and all that. I'm just saying let's ask questions there too.
Yeah.
Because we are now in January, out the Carabao Cup, out the FA Cup, 5 points off the top of the league, 200 plus million spent in the summer. So we're not allowed to ask questions.
100%. You're spot on with your analysis there. And I want to kind of finish up by asking, what is your biggest frustration with all of this? Because all those things you've named are very annoying. And I don't feel like like you just said, you're not saying Arteta out, but we have to be Thomas question manager. What is the most frustrating? Because I know you're the man that predicted Arsenal will win the league.
I did. I really thought we would. I really thought we would. So, I don't think that anymore.
But is that because I feel like us as fans, a lot of the time we like I said, we build ourselves up and then things happen and we've got ourselves so high of expectation that it hurts even more. So what is your biggest frustration out of everything you've seen today?
Today, or can I look beyond?
Okay,
I'll answer both. I'll answer both. Today, I'm so annoyed with those players. I love them all to bits. I really think a lot of them are top talents, and they've been growing, and they've made me believe as an Arsenal fan.
Same, yeah.
But I'm really frustrated today. You don't have to be in tip-top condition. You don't have to be you don't have to be match fit or not tired or whatever to put away some of the chances they had today. They had enough today to win that game. Bigger picture, we spent, I think, about 230 million this summer. If you're looking at Rice, 165 on Havertz and 30 on Timber, 30 on Raya. The Raya and Havertz signings, and by the way, two signings I feel very differently about, but ultimately, £100 million went towards those positions rather than getting in the backup we needed for Saka. Kudus is doing unbelievably at West Ham.
That's facts.
And maybe an out-and-out striker, or maybe that actual 8 that we needed in midfield as well. Maybe proper cover, whatever. Now we're saying we're short at fullback. Kieran Tierney was sent out on loan. What financial benefit was there, apart from maybe the wages being covered, to Tierney being sent out on loan? And if you're talking about wages, don't talk about some of the wages that we are paying.
Yeah, facts for some of them players.
Today is on the players. I'm not angry at Arteta today. But the bigger picture, out of 2 cup competitions, 5 points off Liverpool, Arteta's done a lot of great work, and I am still behind him, and I think he's a talented manager. But please, can people stop telling me we're not allowed to ask questions? We are allowed to ask questions. And you can go back to the summer, you can trace it back to then. There were opportunities missed that I believe would have given us a squad in a better position to still be in a lot of those cup competitions and be closer to Liverpool.